They're off and trotting. There goes Omar's Messenger out slightly for the lead. On the outside of horses, there goes Pix's Pride. Friday Edition charging through on the inside. There goes All Jade. Now they move into that first turn, and there's three horses now across the track as they race around that clubhouse turn. And Pix's Pride is on the outside taking command. All Jade holds on the inside second. Omar's Messenger parked in third, followed now on the inside Wishful Chinaman. 4 lengths back to Speedy Wilma. Another 3 to Ship Airship, followed by Friday Edition and Prairie Land Raider by the early quarter. 29-3 that first quarter, and all the actions up front as Pix's Pride is showing the way. Pix's Pride on top of the field, a length and a quarter. All Ma's Messenger parked first over on the outside, a challenging second. All Jade right with the leaders in third, 2 lengths back. Wishful Chinaman another 2.5 back to Ship Up or Shape. Halfway home, a minute and 3 into the clubhouse turn they trot, and Pix's Pride maintains the lead and draws clear now a length. All Mars Messenger tries to come on the outside in second, followed on the outside of horses now 3 wide. Here comes Wishful Chinaman out of the turn. They curve into the back stretch, and up front it's Pix's Pride opening up the lead now by about 5. On the outside, a distant second. Wishful Chinaman followed on the extreme outside. Friday Edition is on the move from far back. 3/4, 1:31 and 4. Now they roll into the far turn. Pix's Pride on top of the field, but Wishful Chinaman is on the attack. Here comes Wishful Chinaman. Up now to challenge and take him out, but 3 wide. Friday Edition. Here they come trotting for home between horses Wishful Chinaman, Friday Edition, charging upon the outside as they come to the wire. Wishful Chinaman has the lead. Wishful Chinaman has the lead at the wire. Friday Edition is second. They're off. Lackadaisical out for the lead. On the inside, Hula Hoopfer, and there goes J.E. Encounter as they drive into that first turn. J.E. Encounter now has the early foot. Hula Hoopfer drives up alongside a challenging second. On the inside of us, nothing shaken. Right there in third, followed by Lackadaisical. Parked on the outside now, dropping in. 2 lengths back to Command Star, another 2 lengths back to Macdown, followed now by our Rocky Road, trailing the field by the quarter, My Oil Strike, and that early quarter, 29-1, and up front it's Hula Hoopfer in command of the field now by 2. J.E. Encounter is second by 2 lengths, nothing shaken, right with the leaders in third. Now first over, here comes Command Star, here comes Mactown following cover as they approach the half-mile juncture and enter the stretch for the first time. And from the outside, Command Star up now to challenge Hula Hoopfer for the lead, and they drive by the half-mile juncture, a minute and 3. Into the clubhouse turn they race, and Command Star is on the outside, and Command Star has the lead and now draws clear. Hula Hoopfer is now back to second. On the outside, nothing shaken. Inching up in third. On the outside, make that Mactown. Now they curve into the backstretch. Now less than a half mile to pace in the race. And up front, it's Command Star leading the way now by 2.5 lengths. Hula Hoopfer is in second under urging Mactown. First over in third. On the inside of horses, J.E. Encounter. 3/4, 1:30 and 4. Now they race around that far turn. Command Star maintains the lead under urging as Hula Hoopfer moves out of second. On the inside, J.E. Encounter. Here they come, and down the stretch they go. Command Star is your leader under urging. J.E. Encounter charging through the open stretch. Command Star with the lead. Command Star at the wire. Here they come. They're off. Colin Condescent out for the lead. There goes Incredible Promise. Charging through on the inside. Now they drill into that first turn. And Incredible Promise has the early foot. Alongside Colin Condescent is an up and challenging second. Followed by How About Dixie's Baby. Now closing the gap. 2 lengths back to Luscious Leader. Followed by VL Snowcap and Worthy One Day as they approach that opening quarter. And your leader by the quarter will be Colin Condescent. That first quarter, 29-1. Colin Condescent now a 2.5 length lead. Incredible Promise is second by 2. How About Dixie's Baby in fourth now by 2.5 lengths. Luscious Leader, it's a 3-length gap to VL's Snowcap, where the Wendy now trails the field as they approach the half-mile juncture, and positions are unchanged. And up front, it's Condescent with the lead now by 2.5 lengths. Halfway home, they've hit the half and 59-3. Colin Condescent into the clubhouse turn. Incredible Promise getting a great trip in second. How About Dixie's Baby is first over on the outside. Now it's another 2.5 lengths back to Luscious Leader. Out of the turn, they curve into the back stretch with less than a half mile to pace in the race. How About Dixie's Baby is up now to challenge Colin Condescent for the lead. Colin Condescent is coming back, and on the outside here comes Luscious Leader making his move. 3/4, 1:30-3 into the far turn. How About Dixie's Baby now 3 on top. Luscious Leader digs in a distant second, followed on the outside of horses by Incredible Promise. Here they come, turning for home. How About Dixie's Baby under urging now by about 5, now by 6 lengths. Luscious Leader is in second as they come to the wire. How About Dixie's Baby with the lead. It's all How About Dixie's Baby at the wire. Luscious Leader is second, and Incredible Promise up.
There's your prices for race.
They're off. Tammy Q hustling out for the lead. On the inside there goes Buccario Baby. So they drive for early position. And now from the outside of the rush, Tammy Q is up now to challenge as they drive now around that first turn. And Tammy Q has the lead now by 2.5 lengths. Buccario Baby is second by 2.5 lengths. Tambourine Hanover right with the leaders in. Third by 2. Jezebel's Kiss another 2 lengths to Tokantara as they drive by that early quarter. 29-3 that first quarter. And now up front, it's Tammy Q in command, and Tammy Q leads now by 2.5 lengths. Buccario Baby is right there in second. Jezebel's Kiss parked and driving first over. Followed on the inside, Tambourine Hanover shoots to the outside now following Live Cover. And on the move, TV Gossip heading for the half-mile juncture, and Tammy Q has a neck in front of Jezebel's Kiss, who's on the outside, a challenging second. A minute 2/5. Now the race is half over. Now they move into the clubhouse turn. Tammy Q leads the way. Tammy Q now draws clear on length. Buccario Baby is right there in second. Jezebel's Kiss is on the outside, losing ground. Followed now Tambourine Hanover, and Tambourine Hanover is now 3 wide. Out of the turn, they curve into the back stretch, and they're all chasing Tammy Q by 2. On the outside, Tambourine Hanover. Buccario Baby is there, 3/4, 1:31. Now they move into the far turn. Tammy Q has that lead now 3/4 of a length. On the outside, Tambourine Hanover inching a closer second. Buccario Baby. Here they come, turning for home. Tammy Q cuts the corner under urging. On the outside, Tambourine Hanover. Through the stretch they come. Up front, your leader is still Tammy Q, but she's under urging. On the outside, Tambourine Hanover, another move, but it's Tammy Q all alone at the wire. They're off. LD's LC sailing right to the top. Hey, I'm Alive in second as they race now into the first turn. LD's LC has now a 2-length lead. Hey, I'm Alive, second now by 2. She's a Cherry, right with the leaders in third. A length and a quarter to Storm and Barbara, followed now by Donna's Dancer, Lady Arlene, approaching that early quarter. Your leader is LD's LC, but on the outside, here comes Hey, I'm Alive, driving out of the 2-hole. 29-4, that early quarter, and up front, LD's LC puts away the challenge of Hey, I'm Alive. Hey, I'm Alive is now back to second, 5 lengths back. She's a Cherry in third, a length and a quarter. Storm and Barbara and Lady Arlene entering the stretch now for the first time, and LD's LC is your pace setter, 2 on top. Hey, I'm Alive is second now by 2.5. Storm and Barbara is first over, halfway home. A minute and 1. Now they move into the clubhouse, turning up front. Positions are on change. LD's LC is your leader. Hey, I'm Alive. Running his heels in second. Storm and Barbara now takes over third on the outside. Here comes Lady Arlene now moving up with cover. On the inside, she's a Cherry. Needs racing room to the outside. Donna's Dancer midway up the back stretch, and LD's LC controls the pace, moving by 3/4. 1:30 and 4. LD's LC into the far turn, but Lady Arlene 3 wide, moving into second. Hey, I'm Alive needs racing room in third. Here they come, turning for home. LD's LC now cuts the corner. Lady Arlene is out for the drive. Down the stretch they come. Here comes Lady Arlene. LD's LC digs in. Lady Arlene, LD's LC. Hey, I'm Alive is coming through on the inside. Here comes Hey, I'm Alive. 3 horses at the bar. They're off. Broadway Scholar out for the lead. On the inside, there goes Beau Rue Ideal Beau. Here comes Trans-American. Now they drive into that first turn, and there are 3 horses across the track. Trans-American now third, now second on the outside. Trans-American now has the lead. Broadway Scholar between horses holds in second. Beau Rue Ideal Beau right with the leaders in third. 4 lengths back now to Big Wayne. Another 2 to Lance's leader, followed by Count Alucard. Now to the outside, 1 Satellite Colin My Bluff by that early quarter. 29-2 that first quarter. Working hard is Trans-American, and Trans-American has a length and a quarter lead. Beau Rue Ideal Beau holds right there in second. And now on the outside, first over, here comes Big Wayne, charging third. Now moving into second, here comes Big Wayne. Up to challenge Trans-American. Now the field's moving by the half. They're halfway home. A minute and 2 into the clubhouse turn. Trans-American has that lead now a length. Beau Rue Ideal Beau running his heels in second. On the outside, Big Wayne now first over into third. Now to the outside, Lance's leader is on the move. On the outside of horses, here comes Count Alucard. Now they race up the back stretch. Less than a half mile due pace in the race, and up front it's Trans-American, and Trans-American has that lead 3/4 of a length. On the outside, Big Wayne tries to come at him in second. 3/4, 1:30 and 1. Into the far turn they race, and Trans-American now draws clear. On the inside is Beau Rue Ideal Beau in second. Here comes the White Banks. Lance's leader, and look at him fly. Here they come, turning for home. Trans-American cuts the corner by 2. Beau Rue Ideal Beau now back to second. On the inside of horses, that's Big Wayne, but it's Trans-American all alone at the wire. Beau Rue Ideal Beau up for second. They're off. Sending My Love, and there goes Rainy Day Blues. Charging through on the inside, Rainy Day Blues now wins the race to the top. Regal Revrock charging up on the outside. Regal Revrock circling up now, taking command. Rainy Day Blues is now back to second. It's 2.5 lengths back to Savannah Slim, who's parked first over on the inside of horses. And that's Ms. J. Revrock. As they approach that early quarter, you're leader by the quarter. Regal Revrock a neck, but here comes Savannah Slim. 29-4 at opening quarter, and Savannah Slim now has the lead by 2. Regal Revrock second by 3. Rainy Day Blues in third, a length and a quarter. Ms. J. Revrock is now tucked in, followed on the outside. Precious KC is on the move, and now to the outside. Quaker Shaker approaching the half-mile marker, and Savannah Slim leads the way now by 2. Regal Revrock getting a good trip second. They're halfway home, 1 minute and 1. Now they move into the clubhouse turn. Savannah Slim leads the way now, a length and a half. On the inside, Regal Revrock getting that good trip second. But Rainy Day Blues first over, now into third. On the outside, Quaker Shaker now following cover. On the outside of horses, here comes Sending My Love. Now they come into the backstretch. Less than a half mile to pace in the race. Savannah Slim, your leader, a length and a quarter. Rainy Day Blues is on the outside, trying to come on in second, followed by Regal Revrock. Quaker Shaker, 1:31 for the 3/4 around the final turn, and Savannah Slim leads the way now by 2 lengths. Savannah Slim now by 3. Regal Revrock in second. Here they come, turning for home, and Savannah Slim opens up the lead now with every stride. Regal Revrock under the whip in second as they come to the wire. It's Savannah Slim with the lead. It's all Savannah Slim by 2. Regal Revrock up for second.
Be a good team.
They're off. Jules Jodian on the far outside, out for the lead. Now between horses, there goes Phobia. They drive into that first turn, and from the outside, it's Phobia under short lead. Here comes Jules Jodian. Up now to challenge, and Jules Jodian now up to challenge and take command. It's Phobia now back to second. 3 lengths back to Danger Woman. Another 2 to Poco Cloudy. 4 lengths back to Shady Vale, followed now by Dynamic Last KW Katie. 27-4 that first quarter, and up front, Jules Jodian is your leader. Phobia second by 2 lengths. Danger Woman right there in third. Poco Cloudy has range on the leaders in fourth. Another 3 lengths back to Shady Vale. Entering the stretch now for the first time, it's Joe Anderson and Jules Jodian, your leader by 2.5 lengths. Phobia getting a good trip second by 2. Danger Woman halfway home, 58-3. Up front positions are on change with Jules Jodian, your pace setter. Phobia right on her heels and second. On the outside, Poco Cloudy now for third. Now moving up on the outside, first over. Shady Vale is also on the move. Out of the turn, they curve into the back stretch. Jules Jodian maintains the lead now. Jules Jodian on top, 2.5 lengths. Phobia digs in second. On the outside, Poco Cloudy. 3/4, 127-4. They swing into the far turn, and Jules Jodian now opens up the lead, and Jules Jodian now a 3-length lead. It's Phobia in second, followed now by Danger Woman. Here she comes, turning for home. Jules Jodian is opening up the lead now with every stride. A distant second is Phobia, followed by Danger Woman. Jules Jodian wins another. It's all Jules Jodian tonight. Phobia up for second. Great mile, ladies and gentlemen.
There's your results for the
They're off. Under urging, there goes Home Pro Cayman out for the lead. Vixen's Treat charging through on the inside. So they dive into that first turn. And on the inside, there goes Home Pro Cayman. And Home Pro Cayman now has a length and a quarter lead. On the outside, Broadway Investor now moving up in second. Vixen's Treat right with the leaders in third, followed by Midnight Society. Incredible Joe is there. It's 4 lengths back to Triumphant. Let's Go Faster, moving by that early quarter. 29-3, that first quarter, and it's Broadway Investor. Broadway Investor now opening up on the field by 4 lengths. Home Pro Cayman is in second by 3 lengths. Vixen's Treat right with the leaders in third, followed now by Midnight Society. Here comes Incredible Joe. He's out looking for cover. 3 lengths back now to Triumphant as they drive by the half-mile juncture. And that half, 59-3. Broadway Investor into the clubhouse turn now. Opens up under urging by about 4 lengths. Home Pro Cayman digs in second by about 5 lengths. A distant third on the inside of horses is Vixen's Treat. Midnight Society now takes to the outside and driving up from the back of the pack. Let's Go Faster is 3 wide, driving up the backstretch, and their final half mile. Your leader is still Broadway Investor. 3/4, 1:30-3, and Broadway Investor now a 3-length lead. Home Pro Cayman is now back to second between horses Midnight Society. Let's Go Faster. Here they come, turning for home. Broadway Investor is under urging on the inside. Home Pro Cayman now ducks to the open stretch. Through the stretch they come. Here comes Midnight Society 3 wide between horses. Broadway Investor on the inside of him. Home Pro Cayman. 2 horses at the wire. Broadway Investor and Home Pro Cayman.
Ninth race results now on your screen as we move on to the 10th race.
Here they come. They're all fan pacing. There goes Heart and Decency. Charging through on the inside for the lead. LB Lady now moving up on the outside. They dive into that first turn. Your early leader, Heart and Decency. LB Lady now drops in second. It's 2 lengths back in front of Bellabo. Right with the leaders in third. Length and a quarter to Acer's Pacer. Followed on the inside of horses by Undies as they drive now by that opening quarter. And your leader is Heart and Decency. 30-3, the opening quarter. Heart and Decency shows the way now by 2. LB Lady right there in second, now by 2. But here comes No Undies, was 5th, now 4th. Now moving up on the outside, first over. Entering the stretch for the first time as they approach the half-mile juncture. That's Heart and Decency. Now 2 on top, followed on the inside of horses by LB Lady right there in second. No Undies. First over in third, and on the outside, going Sportin' with cover. 102-2. The race is half over. They move into the clubhouse turn. Heart and Decency leads the way now a length and a quarter as LB Lady is right with the leader in second. On the outside, No Undies is first over, and 3 wide from far back and dead last. Acer's Pacer is on the move. They race up the backstretch, approaching now that third quarter. On the inside, it's Heart and Decency. Acer's Pacer now charging into second. 1:33-4 for the 3/4. Into the far turn, Heart and Decency on the outside. Acer's Pacer another move into second. From the back of the pack, Gilman Sportin' is on the move again. And that's LB Lady. She has nowhere to go. Here they come, turning for home. Heart and Decency under urging on the inside. LB Lady is charging. Here comes LB Lady. Heart and Decency and LB Lady. Heart and Decency, LB Lady. Those 2 at the wire. That is a